Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in. Tully Burnalot here, coming to you straight from the sunny land of Portugal. If my sound voices differently, you know the drill. Topic of today's video is Always Simulator 2014, made by one Jack Lang. Currently available on Game Jolt for low price, absolutely nothing, or your regional equivalent. Wait, 2014? It's 2017! This game has been 3 years in development? Seriously? You know, wait. Okay, hold on. It's 2014, so maybe it was pegged for a 2014 release and it spent the intervening 3 years being polished and reworked. Who knows? Now, obviously, I'm not going to play dubstep mode. Dubstep is for chumps. So let's just play the game, shall we? Press escape to give up. Alright? So, I appear to be outside room 420. That's a very delicate, very cerebral joke. Because, you know, they... Whoa, okay, the game world appears to be a tiny bit jittery, and for whatever reason, the door appears to jut out with a large slab of concrete, alright? There also appears to be some sort of railing system going on here. I wonder if this factors in later. Now, this hallway appears to be immensely long, and I do not appear to have any sort of sprint function or run function, but that's okay. The music is very soothing, though I'm guessing it's basically on a loop. I know this song. I don't know what the name of the song is, but I know this song. Now, as you can see, this is the ultimate in hallway simulator technology. But apparently, for whatever reason, the ceiling appears to be a bit jittery, which means that maybe, just maybe, I am currently experiencing an earthquake. Now, that would be very bad, because hallways under very tight ceilings are not where you want to be during your earthquake. Especially not an earthquake, though so strong that it causes the entire structure to jitter like this. I mean, look, even the concrete is jittering. This is a strong earthquake. Now, I can sort of see what appears to be a small blue dot in the distance. Now, I don't know if that's any sort of actual destination, or maybe, just maybe, that's just my, I don't know, imagination. It's like a mirage. It's like when you're out there on fields during a hot day and you see what appears to be like this these waves in the air. That's just a mirage. Now the music is again very soothing. As you can see, the distance is being progressed very quickly. The distance is measured properly. I don't know what to say really. I mean, if you wanted to go down a hallway, this is pretty much the game for you. Now the railing is amazing. It appears that I am in a hotel that is so lavish and so rich, they can make their fucking railings out of solid gold. Or at least gold plate their fucking wood paneling. And now, I apparently am so important that I earn myself a red carpet. Who am I? I don't know. Maybe I'm a celebrity. See, this is where the role-playing aspect of the game comes into play. For example, you can pretend to be a celebrity arriving on this hallway. Into a hotel, who knows? You can pretend to be a famous writer or a famous actor, or maybe, just maybe, you can put yourselves in the shoes of Abraham J. Lincoln. I think it's J. Not sure if it's J. If it's not J, I apologize to any US-based citizens that are currently listening. Who knows? Maybe you are a famous person and you are out to test the world's very first never-ending hallway. Who knows? No one knows. It's up to you to decide, really. Ultimately, though, this is pretty much where your entire roleplay experience comes into play. Who knows what you are? You have to put yourself into the shoes of this character. You have to be the character. You have to feel the character. Even as you sort of look like the blue dot and feel that it's going further and further and further away. The escape point is very good. The perspective is amazing. Absolutely not something that you would do in art class. Absolutely not. This perspective is amazing. And I cannot, and I repeat, cannot wait to see when exactly my initial 420 door becomes just as small as that pale blue dot in the end. You know, maybe, just maybe, that pale blue dot is Earth, and this is some sort of never-ending hallway in space leading from the sun to Earth. You know, because sun equals warm equals fire equals blaze it, 420, blaze it. Therefore, behind that door is the sun. Confirmed. It's logic. You can't argue with that sort of logic. I mean, it's the best logic. It's tremendous logic. Come on now. Now, for whatever reason, I appear to have some sort of string orchestra behind me. Now, again, this plays into the whole aspect of you being famous. This means you have a rolling orchestra ready to play every time you go anywhere. Only the richest, most famous people get to have orchestras following them. This is fact. This is absolute fact. And you know what? I don't really care. At the end of the day, what really matters is the entire structure is still being jittered, there's still an earthquake going around, and maybe, just maybe, what's actually happening is you are desperately trying to find a way outside of the hotel so you can escape the inevitable collapse that will come when the entire structure collapses because of the earthquake. And instead of being able to find a distance, what happens is, because you're a bit too baked, you're actually not moving in place. What happens is, you're just kind of crawling along, and you're seeing everything extend into infinity because the one fucking joint that you did have was laced with some nasty shit. Who knows? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm just experiencing a bad drug trip. Who knows? Perhaps everything's fine. I'm in the toilet, I'm shitting my intestines out, and I'm actually hallucinating that I'm in a never-ending corridor, which is in fact a metaphor for the shit. After all, if you've never been on a toilet, in a bathroom, and you were thinking, oh my god, this torrent of poop is never going to end. Whenever you had some very particularly bad shits, a very bad case of the shits, did you never think that this would never end, that this was your life now, that this was what you're going to be doomed to do for the rest of eternity, just shitting your intestines out? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it is. You had food poisoning, you're now in the toilet, shitting your intestines out, and this is one long metaphor for that situation. You're in a never-ending corridor. It's never going to end. This is your life now, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. Or maybe not. That's the beauty of it. You can extract so much meaning out of this game. So much meaning. It can be a metaphor for life, where you just keep going and going and going until eventually you can go no further and then you drop dead. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's a metaphor for birth. And if you walk straight for 9 months, then you come out of the end or the other end. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it is just as simple as you are a famous person and they're trying to welcome you. Maybe you are trying to escape from an earthquake because the whole fucking thing is jittering. But then again, if you stop moving, the entire structure stops jittering. So maybe you are so strong that every stride you take shakes the entire structure, which would mean that you could be a superhero. Maybe you are some sort of super dense superhero that uses his super strength, or her super strength, of course, uses his or her super strength to fight crime. And this is your grand opening. You're being invited to a gala to reward you for all of your good deeds. Who knows? This game has never-ending, and I mean absolutely never-ending, roleplay potential. I mean, you never know what's going to happen next. Are you going to fight monsters? Are you going to, I don't know, see the entire structure collapse? Is a black hole going to engulf you? Or maybe, are you going to keep walking forever because this is just a walking simulator? Nah, that's just stupid. This wouldn't just be a walking simulator. After all, it's a hallway simulator, not a walking simulator. This isn't Dear Esther, come on now. At the end of the day, what's going to happen is you are going to be immersed in this experience. Because this really is an experience. After all, look at you. This is the ultimate in role-playing experience. Your character is a complete blank slate. You're given no context whatsoever. You're just given a world and told, fill up this world with whatever you want to do, with whatever you want it to be. And you can be what you want to be. It doesn't really matter what that be is. You can be it. And perhaps bees are going to show up at some point. I don't know. Everything's up in the air. Everything can happen. Everything and anything can happen. And you know what? That is the best part about this. You never know what's going to happen. Maybe a chimera is going to jump out and kill you. A bloodsucker maybe. Maybe a snork. I don't know. A pseudo-giant? Maybe you're escaping from the Chernobyl power plant. Maybe this is part of the zone. Who knows? All I know is this is amazing. The perspective is truly enthralling. The music is soothing and calming and absolutely not hilariously annoying because it keeps repeating itself. And you can't even see yourself. And you know why? Because you can't even look further down than this. You can't look directly down. And you know what that means? First off, this means that you are very slim. You don't have a pot belly. This means that you're very slim. Secondly, you are so awesome that you can't even gaze upon yourself without going blind. So your neck stops you in order to prevent some blindness, which means that you are so awesome, that the theory that this is in fact just a welcoming mat for you as a superhero or celebrity gains traction. Perhaps you are such an awesome person that the universe itself cannot fathom anything more adequate for you than a never-ending red carpet. And any second now, soon enough, these jittering concrete white walls are going to fall apart, and you're going to see billions upon billions of paparazzo just taking pictures and asking questions. And then you'll wave, and then you'll wave, and then everything's going to be amazing, and everything's going to be awesome. And you're going to start having a counter on the top that measures just how much money you have, and it just keeps going up because you made some good investments with your life, and you didn't, in fact, invest in ExxonMobil. It's amazing. You never know when this is going to end. This is just fodder, the best fodder for imagination and roleplay. And I have to give the kudos to the developer, Jack Lang, for putting this up on GameJolt. I honestly can't see why a game that is called Hallway Simulator 2014 was now put on GameJolt in 2017. It is clear to me that years and years of development went into making this game. The 3 years in between the slated release and the actual release, that was just 3 years more that could be used to refine this experience, to turn it into something especially grand, to turn it into something memorable and legendary. I can see that a full year, for example, was spent in the intricacies of this red carpet, another year on the ceiling, another year on these concrete walls, and I can see several months went into these golden, beautiful railings. Not to mention, what is this, mahogany? This has to be mahogany. I mean, look at this. See, this is what I'm talking about. You are so dense and so powerful that if you walk very closely to the wood panels, like this, they jitter. This is you. This is your doing. This is what you are doing. You are so powerful that you cause the building to shake with every step you take. And you know what? That is absolutely amazing. However, I feel like we've been doing this for a bit too long. So what we are going to do is I'm going to turn around and I'm going to go back to my room. And you know why? Because I need to blaze it some more. No, I'm just kidding. What happens is I've done my duty, I've done my job, I've walked down the red carpet, and now what I have to do is I have to go back to my room and I have to rest. Because someone as awesome as myself needs some rest. You think the awesome just comes out of nowhere? No. No, it doesn't. The awesome has to come from somewhere, and that somewhere is my personal energy reserves. And the personal energy reserves don't just come out of nowhere. They need to come from rest and a good diet and constant exercise. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into my room, I'm going to get onto my bed, I'm going to get onto a chair, and then I'm going to furiously masturbate to a picture of a cow. And after that's done, I go sleep. And after that's done, I wake up, clean myself up, and take a bath, and then I go before my morning jog. And what's my morning jog, you might ask? Simple. This red carpet. You see, all those things I said before, those were bullshit. What this actually is my personal jogging machine. It's a never-ending corridor that I use every day to jog. This is what I do. I go out of my room, I go take a walk, and then I come back. One day, I will get to the end of the corridor, touch the wall on the other side, and then go back into my room. Probably it's going to take me several years, but you know what? That's all that matters. I can even see the corridor at the end. As you can see, this is not just a visual. As you can see, the game doesn't actually delete it and make the game unending on both sides. No, there is a solid state for the fucking door. The door is the place in this eternal hallway where the quantum wave function has collapsed. So you always know that there's a door there. Maybe this is a treatise on quantum physics. Who knows? Maybe you're inside a proton. Maybe you're inside an electron. I don't know. Maybe this is, in fact, a huge particle collider. A huge particle collider. And any moment now, I'm going to see a bright light, and a proton is going to beam into my head and murder me. I'm kidding. There was actually someone who did survive that with some minor brain damage. But you know what? It doesn't really matter. What matters now is I get back into my room, I get back into what I'm doing in my room, and I just rest. I rest. I take the rest of the day off, and then after that is done, I can go back to doing what I was doing, which is walking down the hallway. And the music keeps going, and it's very nice. The music is very nice. The music is very calm. The music is repetitive and absolutely infuriating, but it's also very nice. Very nice indeed. The string quartet and the string orchestra, they do their job. They provide a calming, soothing background for you to walk on. And as you can see, the bobbing technology is very good. I mean, for example, look, your head is bobbing. You can see every step you take. It's amazing. And the head bobbing plus the jittering means that maybe, just maybe, this is you. This is you causing the jittering. You are so powerful that every stride shakes the building to its very foundations. And ultimately, really, what's happening here is this is a journey. It doesn't really matter what happens. What matters is that the journey itself happens. That's what happens. That's what matters. The journey itself is the important part here. And all that matters is that you go to one end, turn around, and get to the beginning. Because really what's at the beginning is a door. And what is a door? It's a pathway, a passageway. And what does that passageway represent? Life. That is what this entire thing is about. You come out of a door, and then you go into a door. Except the first door is biological and organic, and the second door is made out of wood and in the shape of a casket. That's exactly what it is. You go out of a door, and you go further and further, until eventually you hit your peak, and then you slowly go back to the end, until eventually someone closes a door on you. And that's all that life is. And this is a beautiful metaphor for life. It's a beautiful metaphor for it. And the music is just there to remind you that regardless of whatever point you are in your life, there will always be music and there will always be song. And don't you ever forget it. And really the perspective is just to teach you. It doesn't really matter if you think that there's no end. There is an end. And you can see the end in the distance. And you can walk towards it slowly, or you can go back, or you can go forward, or you can go back, or you can go forward, or you can go back, or you can go forward. But eventually you have to go to the end if you want it to finish. And that is what this entire thing is. And the jittering, those are just the various problems that you may find in your life. But you know that no matter how much the walls jitter, how much the ceiling jitters, how much the beautiful mahogany panels jitter, you know that they will always be there. They will be there for you. They will be waiting for you. They will be there in place to provide structure, to provide support for you and for everyone you love. Because that's what the ceiling is. It's those who are near and above you. It's those who love you and support you, and those who can stand above you and defend you when the time comes. That's what the walls are as well. The walls are the relationships that you make with these people. And the gold, well, the gold's just the gold. The gold's there to make this thing look nice. But the mahogany panels are also there to look nice. No symbolism required. But everything else, absolutely symbolic. Absolutely symbolic. It's amazing. I really cannot sing the praises of this game enough. It is absolutely amazing. I have no words. Even though I've been doing nothing but saying words, I have no words to describe just how beautiful the symbolism and metaphorical aspect of this game is. It is absolutely breathtaking. And as you can see, the end is approaching. You can make out the various details of the door now. You can see that there's a concrete lining around it. You can see that the door is imbued into the concrete lining. I don't know if imbued is a word, but it is a word now. And honestly, I have nothing else to say. This game is beautiful. This game is amazing. And I have nothing but praise for it. This is the best game that I've played in literally years. In fact, this just made my day. Playing this game made my day. I absolutely adore it. And I cannot wait until I get to the end and I see the hashtag 420 imprinted onto the door in bright white letters. Because that's all that matters. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it extra symbolic, and I'm going to turn around and walk the last segment like this. And you know what that means? That means that you're looking back, you're staring back at everything that happened in your life. Because this is a metaphor for life. You're staring back at everything that's happened. You're looking back at your life, and you're thinking, was it worth it? Was it not worth it? Did I live a good life or a bad life? Who knows? You certainly don't. You will only be judged by your legacy. And you know what? That's all that matters. You look back, and you think, you know what? I have left a good legacy, and people will remember me fondly. And that's all that matters, really. And as you can see now, the ceiling appears to be printed out in small chunks, which is, of course, a metaphor for faxes. Faxes are an important part of life. You should always fax people. Faxes are amazing. Now, if you turn around, you will see that the door appears to be inching ever so slowly. And I believe that I'm in the last segment of my journey. And that's all that matters here. I'm almost done. The nightmare is almost over. The metaphor for life is almost over. Not a nightmare. Absolutely not a nightmare. Absolutely not being forced to play this by someone pointing a gun at my face. Absolutely not. This is absolutely my free will playing this game. Yes, 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 yes. Please help me. Yes, yes. See, the door is almost close, very close indeed. And now you look back again, and you wonder, Was my life good? Yes, it was. You look forward to your death. Look back? Maybe it wasn't, but no, yes, it was. You leave a good legacy, you leave a good pair of kids, several grandchildren, lots of money in an inheritance that you don't have to pay estate tax on. And you know what? All that matters is you see the door encroaching, you can see the glitter of the hashtag 420 on the door, and that's all that matters here. That's all that matters. And I know that I'm saying that's all that matters, but it is really all that matters. Everything that's happening right now is culminating in this moment. You are walking slowly to the final door in your life, and that's all that matters. And honestly, I don't really care about a lot more. This is the best experience that I've had in. Oh, sorry about that. I accidentally knocked my mouse over. That's fine. I absolutely wasn't trying to escape and then was put back into the chair. Of course not. This is absolutely the best experience that I've had in ages. Absolutely ages. And I cannot tell you just how much I loved this entire walking experience. This truly is the best in hallway simulator technology that our world has to offer right now at this point in time. And you know what? It's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. I really don't know what else to say. There's little else for me to say. This is amazing. I absolutely adore and love it. And you know what? No other game that I will ever play will even begin to dream about thinking on considering the possibility that they might one day reach a tenth of the way to this game's fucking standards. The door is getting closer. I can see the walls are getting closer and closer. And you know what? At the end, this video will stop. And I'm sorry that this video has to stop, but it has to end someday. It all has to end someday. Just like life. Just like life, it has to end someday. It doesn't really matter what you do. It doesn't really matter how or when. It just has to. Except, of course, you can just go back and start walking in the other direction. There's nothing stopping you. But in this case, we're going to go up to the end. The zoomed out guy is going up my street outside, and he's very loud. Thank goodness this microphone cannot pick it up. Otherwise, you'd be very, 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 very annoyed. Listen to it. Isn't it grand? Isn't it amazing? Isn't it awesome? I know it is. You don't have to tell me that it is, because I know that it is. It's soothing and calming, and I absolutely adore it. And you know what? We've reached the door. So thank you all for tuning in. I hope you guys and gals had a good time. And as always, I'm open to suggestions in the comment section down below. And until next we meet, this is Tully the Burnalot, signing off. Goodbye.